Mikey Dealz Show, episode 3. It is August 29th, 2022. Welcome to the Mikey Dealz Show. What's up, everybody? It's August 29th, 2022. I'm here with a good friend of mine that I've known for, I don't even know how many years. Her name is Alexis Chi Ayala. She's been a bartender of mine for years. Back when I was working the streets and fucking running into Vinio's and Chinek, which was my local hangout. Lexi was my bartender. She knew me. She knew what I drank. She was that type of bartender that could fucking you talk to, and she was kind of like a therapist. Lexi, talking to the mic.
Mikey.
Okay, there you go.
I'm here.
I just want to make sure the microphone is fucking working. Thank you for coming. I know you're a night owl, and getting you out of the house during the daytime is kind of like a fucking big ordeal for you.
It's like the vampire coming out.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming by. And,
I got you, baby.
I appreciate you coming by and hanging out and talking for a little while. It's Mikey Dealz episode 3 again. I should have had this episode out like 2 weeks ago. Shit got all fucked up. But I'm here now and I'm trying to get it done. My audio, my video, I'm fucking praying is working. I know I'm recording on Restream, and I'll fucking find out later on how to re-upload it to YouTube. I forgot how to, and the last fucking 2 tries I just tried to do didn't work, so we'll fucking handle that later. But anyway, so we got Lexi here. Lexi, what year did you start working at Vinio's?
I think like 2007.
2007.
Pretty sure, yeah.
That sounds pretty accurate.
It sounds accurate. I go by Jaden's like age. That's pretty much how I go by.
Yeah, I would have been 27 or 28 then.
Yep.
And I know I was a maniac when I was in my 20s. Like, especially in Vinio's. The Vinio's is the bar in Teaneck where it was my local spot, and I would go there all the time. I'd have lunch there and then go back there and then fucking drink at night and do all types of crazy shit. And Lexi would be my bartender. Her and Gary.
Fruit Punch Gary.
Aunt Gary. That's what I used to call him. I used to call him Aunt Gary because he was such a bitch. but I love him to death. I haven't seen him in years. I never kept the connection with him, but I
still talk to his wife all the time.
Oh yeah, Sue.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's not fucking put names out here on fucking.
I said wife.
Shit.
You did.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. I can't even bleep that out. I don't give a fuck. Whatever's not getting edited. So you started in 2007, and I remember when you started, it was you and like some other chick that was there, Monica. You remember her? Monica
left right before me, I think. Danielle was working the day shift, my arch nemesis.
Right. That's right. That's fucking right.
And I worked with Gary, and then I trained Laura.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Laura McIlrath, who I'm still in touch with.
Yep.
Sweetheart. And some of those nights in fucking Vinny's, man. Like, I don't know. It would either be a fucking. It was like a comedy of errors. Like, things would just happen and go down. Like, shit would get fucked up. Like, you would order food, and all of a sudden, like, the Mexican guy that was back there cooking would just disappear. So, so like, you would have to go back there and make like a hamburger or wings and shit like that. Like, you had to be the bartender and the fucking.
Yeah, one day he got pissed off at me and literally left food in the fryer and walked out the back door because I put an order in like 10 minutes before he was leaving for like mozzarella sticks, and he literally just left everything on, frying, and walked out.
The great Vinio would fucking find some fucking real fucking winners back there to cook in the kitchen. Then there was a lot of times that he was back there cooking. He'd be hanging out at the bar, drinking his what the fuck did Vinny drink? I don't know. It was like in like a sifter.
The Makers.
Yeah, the Makers. So Vinny would be there drinking his Makers. Vinny owns the bar. It's fucking named after him. The bar's Vinio's. And he'd have to go back there and start cooking food for people. And he always did a fucking great job. And the food there was, it was always good. They were known for their fucking wing nights. Fucking on Thursdays, before you started, I believe, they had 10-cent wing nights.
10 cent. Yep.
That was before you started there, right?
And then they went up to 20 cents, and it was like an uproar because how dare you pay 20 cents for a wing?
Right. So, but you weren't there for 10-cent wing. You were there for 20 cent, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Thursday nights he would have 10-cent wing night, and people will come. I'm not even whatever.
And they got to make sure you fry them real hard. Make sure they're really well done. Don't come out without with meat on the wings.
Yeah. It was a fucking complete shit show. Like I think it started at like 6 o'clock, and we shot APA pool in there. And back then, I was drinking fucking Captain Morgan by the fucking handle.
Oh, I remember that.
And so I would go in there, I would shoot pool, and then like I was fucking good at pool. Like I wasn't a fucking beast or anything like that, but I would knock a lot of people out and fucking make $20 here, $50
little hustle here and there. I got
little bullshit. But then I would get so fucking trashed I wouldn't even be able to shoot, and then I would just start talking shit about all the other patrons that were in there for wing night. Like people would come from like fucking the Bronx and Harlem and fucking Upper Manhattan and like Kingsbridge and Yonkers for fucking 10-cent wing night, and the place got packed. I remember Vinny had like the security guard dude. He wore like a bulletproof vest and like he had like cargo fucking pants on. He looked like he was ready to jump out of a fucking helicopter and like assault fucking an embassy. You know what I mean? Like he was a fucking.
Well, it got to a point where we needed security. Yeah, I brought in my own like company at one point.
Yeah, it got to a point where it'd be so fucking packed in there for wing night, and this is a small place. It probably had like a 15-foot bar or maybe an 18-foot bar when you first walked in, and then to the right of that you had like a dining area with maybe 8 or 9 tables. If I'm
in the front, yeah, and then in the back had the pool tables and a couple of more tables.
Well, at first the pool table was in front in the bar area, and then we had the pool table, the second pool table in the back. So we would shoot pool, fucking right there at the front table and the side table. There were both games going on, and there'd be money flying around and shit. I remember fucking my man Chris. I forget his last name, which I wouldn't mention anyway.
Pool player.
He
was my coach.
He worked for he still does. He works for like whatever the audio video production company. They make like movies. Harris. He works for Harris. He's like a cameraman. And his whole thing was he would fucking film Law and Order all week.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Don't say his last name.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
He'd be on the back table fucking hustling for bread. And then the front table, I'll either be fucking playing for money or whatever, playing for fun or APA in the week. But on wing nights in there, I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm not gonna whatever. Black people would come in and they would fucking go fucking ape shit over fucking. That's a horrible way to fucking deny ape shit. They would go crazy over fucking wing night. 10-cent wing nights. It was a $2 minimum, so you had to order fucking 10 or fucking whatever, and it was a fucking.
And they would bitch about the minimum of the wings, and that you had to got at least a soda.
Yeah.
So like your bill, you just like fed your entire family on $8, and it was like trying to pull the $8
extra ranch, extra.
Why do I have to do $2 minimum? Because like, what do you want? 3 wings?
It was a fucking disaster, but it was so fucking funny that
walking in, they would just grab wings off each other's plates and leave chicken bones laying around and shit.
Yeah, like you couldn't share your wings. Like you couldn't order like like you couldn't like pick. All right, well, let me get 100 wings and have like 4 of your friends come, because that wasn't allowed. There was a fucking like you have to fucking the bar has to make money here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So. It was just a fucking. It was fucking funny as shit, and me and my buddy Mike, we're not gonna say his last name. Me and Mike would sit at the end of the bar, and he was a cop, not in that town, but one of the areas over there in Bergen County.
And it would be go.
We would fucking sit there and fucking talk shit, and just it was a fucking. It was nuts. I'm trying to describe it like we would be fucking outnumbered, surrounded. And be like, we are being surrounded. Like fucking, we are outnumbered now by people from fucking the Bronx that are coming out there. I want 10 wing. Make it 10 wings. Like, nah. Yeah. These motherfucking wings are small. God damn. Guy had no smaller wing than this. Like, it was fucking hysterical.
I know, but meanwhile, they always said to like make sure you fry them real hard. So it was literally just skin left on the freaking wings.
Right.
So what were you expecting when they came out?
The disasters of the night is like at first it would fucking be like, everything's all good. Like the families are coming in and shit. People were fucking enjoying it. The local people, which were always great that we knew because they were regulars at the bar. like Vinny's wasn't like a it was a black bar at night. It was a
Yeah.
black bar. It was black clientele. It was in Teaneck.
We had a great times though. Like
Oh, it was
be doing like the 2-step, like the all kinds of
they would have like Vinny would have bring in a DJ at times, and like, everybody got along. Vinny's is the only place I know where you could have cops and criminals all fucking hanging out in the same bar and not wanting to fucking like
word.
kill each other or fucking no crazy shit going down. It's like you knew if you were in Vinny's, it's like all right, whatever fucking beef we have, whatever case I got, I'm not doing shit about it right now.
And especially if I was there, like you're not pulling shit because I'll jump right over and like you'll get ass up.
Right.
So nobody was allowed to pull shit when I got there.
There was a fucking huge fish tank. It was probably like
the babies.
It was probably, I don't know, maybe a 300-gallon fish tank, something like that. I'm probably off because I know nothing about fish tanks, but it was in the middle of the bar in Vinny's.
Yep.
So you would fucking walk in there, and if you were white and you knew and you were a regular, we sat to the right side of the fish tank.
I totally forgot about the fish tank rule.
You sat to the right of the fish tank, and if you were black, you would sit to the left of the fish tank.
And it was just like, it was a weird unspoken.
Yeah, it was an unspoken rule.
I don't know where it came from,
but
or
we all got
why.
along. But it's like if you're sitting down here, like it was like fucking. It was kind of fucked up, but everybody like agreed to it and liked it. Like the black people were like, all right, fuck it, the off-duty cop and fucking that little drunk asshole me ain't coming over here and bothering me because he knows it's the fish tank rule. You know what I mean? Like I would harass people in there, especially when I was all fucked up and I was fucking shooting people for money and shit on the pool table.
Yeah,
I was out of my mind. 27, 28 years old. I was out of control, and so the fish tank rule was always in effect, and it's like, all right, the white people sit to the right, but that's only if they knew, if it was like a white person's first time coming there,
right.
Like the college kids was coming there from what the fucking college is that that down the street?
Oh no, the finishing school.
Yeah, they would come in and they're like, oh, fucking like all hippies and shit, and like they have no idea, but the fish tank.
Oh, rule, from Fairley, the ones
FDU.
from Fairley and stuff. Yeah,
Fairley, from Fairley, from FDU, they would come in there and like be like fucking like there would be like two black dudes and two white broads, and they walk in there, but they had no idea.
Where do we
like,
sit?
Right. Like
right in the middle.
Right. But nobody, like, we all looked at them and we're like, these motherfuckers don't know. Like, the white people sit over here, the black people sit over here.
It was crazy. But then also happy hour, because I used to love my happy hour. It would be like everyone had their seats. Remember Shot Wars?
Yeah, I remember Shot Wars.
So like one of them would come in and sit down, but when the other one came in, let's shift our seat. Let's shift the seat because this is their seat.
That was all of us, though. That was the black people and the Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, we all had a seat for happy hour.
Right, and we were all together. Like we were all fucking friends. Like we would take care of each other. I've been carried out of that bar many times.
I loved happy hour.
It was a fucking blast. The Shot Wars with
Tool. With
Tooley and fucking brother
Dame
Riley
and
fucking remember Riley? He drove the Volvo.
Yep.
Riley.
All of them.
Yeah. Damien. Yeah. Is it Damien or Damien? Damien. Mikey Tool.
Tina.
Oh shit.
How you doing?
Let me get a cigarette. Tina would always ask me for a cigarette. She would try to butter me up first because she knew my brother from 20 years ago. She's like, so how you doing? How's your brother?
Can I get a cigarette from you? You can buy me a shot.
You got a cigarette? You know why I want a shot. Mm-hmm. She would give him the Shot Wars and fucking
and sit in the middle.
Yeah, and fucking not buy any shots.
Yeah, but then I would be a bitch and be like, I'm cutting people out. If you didn't buy a round yet, you're out of it. Like
those fucking Shot Wars were fucking bananas, dude.
Horrible. By 7 o'clock, were people like stumbling out?
Yeah,
stumbling
on like a fucking Wednesday. I think it was
because it was $2 shots.
That's right. Was it Wednesdays that happened?
I think it was every day from 4 to 7. It was happy hour, and then we had the Yankee $2 shots.
That's
so
right,
any
for the
Yankee game that
games.
was on, for every home run, you got a $2 shot.
I remember that.
So like if the bar was packed, here you go, pouring like 30 shots. It was great. We had great times in there, man.
Oh, it was the fucking best.
I used to be pissed off all the time, but damn, I missed that place.
Yeah, me too. I missed it too. Like we all fucking got along in there. There was never any fucking issues. Not within our circle. But like every once in a while, somebody would fucking into a fight that like the Bloods would fucking jump somebody and fucking in front of the bar. Somebody gets stabbed in the back or some shit. Like
we had the riot. The one riot. Oh my god.
I wasn't there for that.
So this was like towards the like not the end, probably like a year or so before, we had a riot, and we all know a blonde girl with the letter T.
Okay.
She started the whole fucking thing. because she left her, like, I closed the men's room down to go to the bathroom because I was like 20, like, like 5 deep at the bar. And I'm like, I would just shut the men's room down. And she went in there after me and left her drink in there and came out and said someone stole her drink. You remember how like stupid like she used to get?
Yeah.
And she literally started a brawl in the bar. And to the point where they broke out the windows, they were hitting guys, girls with like pool sticks. I'm underneath the freaking bar, calling 911. Usually I'm jumping over, like breaking shit up. I was like, hell to the no, I'm out of here. I didn't get out of there until about 8 in the morning. I had to sit there and wait for them to come board up the shit, which finally one of our customers came to board it up for us. It was like, I was like, I'm not working another day without my own security team. It was bad. It was like, it was stupid. It was a Hackensack, Englewood, Teaneck bullshit that was going on.
It got like that. I remember like,
but it was started from a blonde girl.
I remember hearing the stories because at the time I was living down in, I think I was living either in Florida at the time or I was in like North Carolina living down there in Charlotte. And I remember hearing the fucking stories right before fucking Vinilo's closed and about how fucking crazy shit got at the fucking end. But I was happy I wasn't there for that. I saw enough crazy shit when I was there.
Yeah, it got a little like crazy. I'm like, y'all grown now. Like, when you gonna let like this whole street shit go?
Right.
Like, you're in your 40s, almost 50s now. You're still like running the thug game and like oh, Hackensack. Oh, you live in Teaneck. We can't like it. Like, blah, blah, blah.
It's always been a fucking beef. Like it's always been like that.
It's ridiculous.
I don't think it's going on no more. Like that. I don't think like these kids now. Like,
I hope not.
These like 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. I don't think they're. I think they're doing other things.
Hopefully not. I mean, I still know. I still talk a couple of them. Now even their kids, I'm like, I've known you since you were this big. I'll give them a rack right behind their head too. I've known you since you're little.
How's Taylor doing? Do you talk to Taylor?
I have not. Like, I follow him. He just had a new baby, his third. Oh, he's so cute, my boy.
Good shit.
Married. He's doing real estate now. Like, like I haven't like really talked to anybody, but I follow him. But it was weird. Like when my mom passed, actually, he messaged me like the craziest message. Like, I never expected it from him.
Saying what?
But like sending out his condolences. But he was like, oh, you might notice now that since you were with your mom, you might start looking like a lot more like her and this and that because she came into you. And like, I didn't expect it out of him. And like, let me tell you something, that man was on point with that. So, but yeah, I follow everybody, but I try not to, not even I try not to. It's just like I keep to myself a lot and shit. So like I'm never really out anymore and stuff, but I follow everybody to keep up on their life and see how good they're doing. But he's doing really good. The baby was just born, I think, 2 months ago. He's freaking adorable.
Taylor's always been a fucking upfront solid dude.
Oh,
I think he's doing something. I think he's like doing like a soul music night or like comedy night over at Gina's in Teaneck on Teaneck Road.
I think they just started up again.
Yeah, like
him and Billy, because after COVID, like I think they just started.
I heard something about it, and like I heard something about Pluck. I don't remember Uncle Pluck from Teaneck.
Shit.
I think he's got something to do with it. He's got to be in his fucking 60s now.
Plucky, I can't.
Yeah, like dude, growing up, Pluck used to knock motherfuckers out. Like he was a tough guy in Teaneck. He went to prison for a few years.
Yeah,
he was a tough motherfucker. And then I first met him. I was probably like 22, 23 in Vinny's, and me and him he was a lot older than me at the time, but me and him always got along. We would shoot pool.
Yeah,
and like I would always buy him a fucking beer or a shot or some shit. You know what I mean?
Give me some Henny.
He always needed it. Yeah, he always needed it. Him and the other dude that worked at that fried chicken spot up there. I forget his name, but the fried chicken in this place was fucking tremendous. He had, I forget.
See, now I want chicken, bro.
I know, I'm starving. I forget his name, but he had a fucking phenomenal fried chicken spot, like homemade shit. He had like homemade mac and cheese, homemade fried chicken.
Wait, during COVID?
No,
no. Okay, so no, one of the guys from Vinny's during COVID, and it's probably the same person. Was it Pesh? Because during COVID, he was making food like his fried chicken, his wings, like everything, and he was selling it.
He's shorter than me.
I think you might be. We're probably talking about the same person,
dude.
I think we're talking about Pash.
He owned the fucking chicken spot, and the chicken was banging. All the food was banging, like the casserole, all that shit was fucking slamming.
That home cooking shit. Yeah, that's the best places.
Yeah, and fucking, it was just such an array of people that we would hang out with, and they're like. You had me in there. I was a straight up fucking criminal. Like that's how I made my fucking money. I was a fucking criminal. And then we had off-duty cops in there, which they knew what the fuck I did, but they didn't give a fuck. They were fucking friends of mine from the bar. Then we had like guys that own franchises of fucking International House of Pancakes, IHOP, rest in peace, fucking IHOP, Don, IHOP Don, great guy.
Yeah, amazing people.
Yep, amazing people. Him and his buddy. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but I mean, if he listens, he'll know I'm talking about him. Which you probably won't listen, but it's fine. It was just such an array of people in there. Like you could walk in there.
It was like the what do we call it? The
Cheers, like it was
national
like the Cheers. It was like Cheers. Like you walked in there and everybody knew you. You know, and it was like, all right, like fucking everybody got along. The regulars wise, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I had a fucking blast.
We used to do the also the Sons of Anarchy nights, where like it was like a Tuesday night when Sons of Anarchy was on, and like it was all the regulars. It'd be like me, Taylor, you know, like all of them just sitting there, and like no one was allowed to have a drink until a commercial break, because we were serious about this shit. And then like every once in a blue moon, like a couple of stragglers would walk in, and we'd be like, y'all need to sit in the back because it's Sons of Anarchy night. So unless you're gonna sit here, no one was allowed to talk, no one was allowed to do anything, because we were serious.
Yeah.
And so I would make like the stragglers go sit in the back by the pool tables because they wanted to have like conversations. No, you can't sit up here. You gotta go back there.
Yeah.
You'll get a drink during a commercial break. Let me know. I'll be out there in a few.
Yeah, Vinio's was a great spot. Yeah, I fucking like I don't have a. I mean, I've lived in Florida for the last like fucking 5 years and came back up here like a little over a year ago. So like I'm not going to bars anymore. I'm not drinking. Like I'm not fucking doing anything, and it's because it's not the same. You know, like I remember like I went into the what's that, the VFW that's right behind Vinny's.
That's where everybody went after Vinny's closed.
But it still wasn't.
The Moose.
The Moose Lodge. Yeah. Oh yeah. You were.
I worked there a hot minute.
Yeah. You were a Moosette, right? You were a Moosette up in there.
Never officially.
But it got hectic in there at night too, right? Once Vinny's closed over the pool table, right?
Yeah. And then they had a party in there one night. So I was working the party with one of the other guys. He used to sound like DMX. I mean, you know who I'm talking about? He was one of the regulars at Vinny's. He was sounded like DMX, working with him. They were doing a party in the back. It was supposed to be like 50 people.
200 show
like
up.
Yeah, like 200 show up. Anybody that's running the place is gone. All the liquor's locked up. That people start, and then like also like if you weren't a member, you couldn't be at the bar. And meanwhile, the party's in the back. So now I'm starting to fight with people because they're all, and now we're trying to close and they don't want to leave. And I got 200 people from all over the place running.
What a shit show.
And guess who got in trouble? I did.
Why?
Because this brother couldn't fucking like get control of the goddamn crowd. So I had to be fucking Lexi, who was Lexi, and fucking be like, let me tell you fucking something. I'm like, when I fucking say something, you're gonna fucking move. And it's time to fucking get the fuck out. So I got in trouble, and that was my last day.
They probably called in cops from everywhere that night. Englewood, Hackensack, Teaneck,
probably they were probably everywhere.
New Milford.
But yeah, that was my last night there because I got in trouble. They said it was rude. I was rude. You brought in 150 extra people and nobody wanted to leave, and then left a mess who was supposed to clean up. And then I couldn't even get to liquor. I'm like, I don't even have any liquor left.
You had to make a ton of money with all those.
No, I didn't. Stop. If I worked the day shift, I did because it was all my regulars. But I can't. Don't even get me started.
What year did your mom pass away? What year was that?
What are we going on for?
As you drink a Stoli vodka straight with ice.
Fuck yeah.
What year was that she passed away? 2018.
Is it 4 years or 5 years? 4 years. I think November it'll be 4. I don't fucking know.
I think it's longer than that.
My date, it's 4 or 5. It'll be 5 in November, I think.
When I lived down in Bradenton and I found out your mom lived close by, me and her became so close. Like
it was so funny. I'm like, you guys live in the same fucking town.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Yeah,
hold on.
Yeah, you told me over the phone. You're like, I'm coming down to see her, and she lives in Bradenton. I'm like, I live in Bradenton, and so you came down to see her, and you introduced me to her.
Yeah,
and she became such a good friend of mine. Like, she was fucking always there.
The crazy lady.
Yeah, but she was out of her fucking.
I call her lady.
She was out of her fucking mind.
Yeah, where do you think I get her from?
But she was the best, man. Like, I don't know. She was rest in peace. God bless her soul. But like, I remember one day I went in there and I get to her house and I was hungover as fuck. And I'm fucking like kind of freaking out. I'm like, I've been banged up the last fucking 5 days. Like I did a bunch of blow and shit. And she's like, what do you mean? I got something for you. Come here. And Lexi, she pulled out a Ziploc bag.
Of Xanax.
I mean, with hundreds of
Yeah.
Xanax in them. She's like, take 3 of these. And I'm like, I'd never taken a Xanax before. So she gives me the 3 of them, and I fucking pop them, and I sleep for like 2 days. But she gave me like, I don't know, by like 200 in that
She
bag.
used to stockpile her shit, man.
She had like, she make a Ziploc bag full of like 200 of them, and like I remember like I'm like, this is the shit, and I'm getting hooked on it. And I'm getting
Yeah,
fucking
Xanax
hooked
is the
on
worst
it.
fucking thing on earth.
Right, I ended up getting fucking hooked on them, and like I needed them in my fucking life, and it was a disaster of a shit show. Me fucking detoxing from that.
So you say with all her pills, right? I'm gonna tell you a fucking story about her getting lost.
What do you
Go
mean?
ahead.
No.
Finish your thought.
No, I'm done. Like she just gave me like fucking.
So
200
before she moved to Florida, this is when she was like, losing her shit again for, she had a rental car because her car was in the shop. She was still living up by my dad's and stuff. But with the insurance, she used to get like 3 months supplies of everything, but she was going to a pain management doctor. So she had like just tons of shit, like beyond ridiculous how much shit she had. But instead, when she would come down to visit me for a couple of days, instead of just Kate taking a couple of days, she had like those old suitcases, those like travel, like fucking makeup bags that are, like filled with month supplies of narcotics. So she was in Belleville or something, goes to look at an apartment. I don't know, because she was losing her shit and running away again. And she loses the car because it's a rental. Can't find her car. So now she calls my sister. Her boyfriend at the time gets my mom, drives her around for like an hour or two looking for the car. Can't find it. Swears the car is stolen. Right? 2 weeks later, they get a phone call from like the Walgreens. The car's been sitting in the fucking parking lot. They finally called.
the pharmacy.
Yeah, like in a big strip mall. She thought she parked it on a street. So they get a call
In Belleville?
In Belleville. They get a call like, oh, this car's been parked there. Like they were towing the car, everything. Mind you, there's no forced entry. There's no broken locks. There's nothing. The entire suitcase of all of her fucking pain meds is still in the car. Not for nothing. If you're going to steal a fucking car,
that's the one to steal.
That was like $100,000 of street money sitting right there between all of her pain med shit. Still there.
She was something else.
She gets charged with.
Hold on. I got to go take a piss. Hold that thought, okay? Hold on 1 second, okay? My bad. All right, my bad. So
they find the car.
Right.
Call my parents, right? They find the suitcase of narcotics, probably like 10 different types of pain meds in there at 3 months supplies. Okay.
Yeah, because in Florida, they were giving you those pill mills were giving you fucking medication.
Well, that's one of the reasons she moved to Florida. But she was on pain management for like the fibromyalgia, this and that. And at this time, this was maybe 12 years ago. So like they were still a little lenient with like pain meds and shit. But they find the car. The cops find all this shit in the car. They charge my mother with possession with intent to sell. Let's
Then
say that again,
sell.
sell. So my dad had to spend like $10,000 fucking dollars on a lawyer to get her off of all these charges. And she's like, but George, I don't know. I'm telling you, they stole the car. I know I didn't leave it there. Yes, you did, lady. You left the fucking car there because there's not even a broken lock.
She was just out of her fucking.
She was out of her fucking bird.
Yeah.
So my dad had to spend all this money to like get her out of all these charges and shit.
She was a fucking legend, dude. Like she told me stories, and she told me about some story about living in Jersey City years ago, and how she was like, she had something to do with like selling blow to like some Colombians or some shit. Yeah. And she's like, and she kept like the money in the fucking freezer.
Oh yeah,
like,
she used to wrap her money in tinfoil like it was meat.
Yeah, and she put it in the fucking freezer, and the cops raided the house, and they took like two of the wraps. But she got arrested, but they didn't charge her with everything because they took money, and she ended up getting off it. I mean, that's what she told me. Some crazy story.
Oh, she has like crazy shit. She's listen, I'm not crazy just for the hell of it. Like I came from a long line of fucking crazy.
No, I get it.
So like, but I'm from crazy, not Bully Bunny crazy though.
I got it. But yeah, she was fucking great, man. When she started getting sick and shit, it really took a toll on me because I was so close to her. Like I would literally see her like every day. I wouldn't see her just because of Xanax. So it wasn't like that. Like
yeah, no, you guys took care of her.
Yeah, like me
and I appreciate it.
Me and Sean would fucking go over there and check on her and shit, and like fucking fix her cable box and fucking, she couldn't get this channel, she couldn't get that channel, and like. Just shit that fucking was easy fix. It just needed to be like set up properly.
Right.
Like,
she just would push like too many buttons.
Yeah. She would just smash the buttons and then give up on everything and fucking be like, fuck this.
Like how many times did her computer crash?
Oh my God.
But it never crashed. Every time she took it in to get fixed, they're like, there's nothing wrong with your computer. I'm like, no, Ma, they're zapping you because you're calling like the White House every day.
Yeah, she
was
sending
threatening letters.
Yeah, like I think she was definitely on like an FBI list or something because she fucking despised Obama. She was like, this motherfucker's taking over all these Muslims that come in here. She was
crazy.
She was a fucking piece of work.
Swore she wasn't racist. I'm not racist. I married your father.
Yeah, I think she was prejudiced. Like she wasn't racist. She was fucking prejudiced.
She was racist as shit.
Nah, I think
she was.
Okay, I mean,
but she swore she wasn't because she married a Puerto Rican. But
that was her past.
She thought my father was Italian, so they got married.
Nice.
Because he's the light one of the family. So
nice.
That was her excuse. I'm not racist. I married your father.
But yeah, I forgot about the crazy Facebook shit she would fucking post up. And it would be like shit, like she would post up like links to viruses. Like fucking if you click that, your computer is doomed.
I used to be like, why do you have friends in Zimbabwe?
Right.
And why are they liking pictures of my kid?
Right.
I'm like, if you're gonna be doing all this political shit and also talking to people in Zimbabwe,
did you block her or
can you make a different? We didn't block her. We had to silence her because the kids were seeing all this.
That's great.
So we had to like block a lot of her posts and shit. And I'm like, but make a different Facebook page of the family. I'm like, I don't want people in Zimbabwe seeing pictures of my kid.
Yeah,
we used to fight all the time about that shit.
She fucking hated Obama.
Oh God.
She's like, his real name was fucking Barry Satoro and all this crazy shit. Like, fuck yeah. I'm like, I love this bitch.
Could you imagine if she was like alive during this COVID?
Oh my God.
Shit, she probably would be in a straitjacket.
Yeah, she wasn't alive for Trump, right? She wasn't alive for Trump.
No, she was all Trump.
I know that, but so she was alive for when he was in office?
Yes.
Okay.
I just found a Trump coin in her room the other day. I was packing up all her stuff, and I found a Trump coin, an official Trump coin, wrapped in like a beautiful like
that house that she lived in down there in Bradenton, that like double wide.
Yeah.
And that it was beautiful. That whole complex was nice. It was like 55 and over community.
Yep.
And it was like a double wide fucking trailer with shutters on it in case the hurricanes came and all that shit. And I was down there with her for that fucking hurricane. And I stayed down there. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I stayed down there. Sean left and I stayed, and I never lost power in my fucking apartment. So she ended up coming over there and hanging out for like 3 days. And she's drinking Budweiser, smoking weed. And she's like, how old was she then?
She was, when she came home, like we found out she was sick on her 70th birthday. So she was like, when you met her, she was probably like 68. So yeah, she's like an old OJ.
During the hurricane, she came over because we had air conditioning and cable and fucking everything. Like everybody else lost power except for the complex that I lived in.
And she'll smoke like an animal.
She smoked mad weed with me. She drank like a 30 pack of Budweiser in 2 days and fucking ate a bunch of Xanax. and it was a fucking blast. And she was so cool. Like, I still have a picture on my Facebook with me and her smoking a fucking joint on my balcony.
I can't. She was nuts.
Yeah, she was out of her
She taught me
tree.
how to roll a joint when I was 5 years old.
That's her.
And back in the day, in the 70s, like nobody gave a shit. And I'm like, can I
Right.
pass it? And I used to walk around and take the joint and pass it to her and her friends. And like that's how I was raised. I was raised with a bong on the fireplace and shit. And then she would like yell at me like, "Oh, you're such a hypocrite," blah blah blah. Because when we had the kids, we wouldn't even smoke a cigarette around them. I'm like, "Ma, you smoke a cigarette around your kids now, they're calling fucking typhus on your
Yeah,
ass."
you're going to jail.
Like I'm not a hypocrite. I'm just trying to keep a kid.
No
So
doubt.
it's not like the 70s. We got to change a little shit. Like
Yeah, definitely. She was definitely fucking.
she was on her. She
old
was something else. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, R.I.P. to her. She was a great lady. She was
Word.
awesome. What you're not bartending now? I know you're hurt, like
Yeah.
you injured your knees and shit. But you were explaining to me before a little bit about this fucking food truck thing you got going on. What's the deal with it? Explain this,
It's like this company that started up like during COVID. Like they were very secret, like under a different name, but it's a chef on the go. So we have contracts with like a whole bunch of different like 5-star restaurants, like Bobby Flay, Mudan, like all these different like from all over. And our chefs have perfected the recipes from their restaurants. So pretty much you go on, it's like an Uber Eats.
You're one of these chefs, right?
Yes.
So how the fuck? So what? You went to classes to learn how to cook Bobby Flay?
Yeah, it was a lot of like we had to go through a lot of training and stuff, and depending on
how long was the training?
The training was like a few weeks. I
Oh,
had to take driving classes because I'm driving a huge, like I had to pass a driving course, like the whole thing.
So it's a truck that pulls up to your house.
Cooks your food right in front of your house.
In order, like, say, like you want Bobby Flay's but it's like it's a select restaurant. So
yeah, so every truck has a different menu on it.
right.
So
I want like hold on, where's the fucking?
It's wonder.com.
Right.
And you like literally just pick on like the menu, order it. We roll up, cook your shit. So instead of you got an Uber driver doing Uber Eats who's messing with your food and it's coming cold and you're missing half your shit, we roll up and we cook everything right in front of your house. You can get liquor delivery, bottles of wines, drinks, everything.
Right here, I downloaded the app on wonder.com, and it's those partners. It says, unfortunately, we're not available in your area, but we will be in your neighborhood soon. And it gives a list of restaurants. And like the top one right here is Fred's Meat and Bread. It's an Atlanta hotspot with a cult following for its acclaimed sandwiches and burgers. And
yeah, banging.
That's it right there.
Okay? And you literally like the cost is what you pay in the actual restaurant. So if you went to the restaurant, that's what you would be paying.
Right.
There's no extra like fees, this, that, like you're not getting charged with a $10, like fee just to be on that, like it's what you order, what you get. And the food's amazing.
I can't wait to try it out. Because I ordered fucking DoorDash.
I can't wait to get back my ass back to work and start cooking again. I don't know.
How long are you out for now?
I've been out since July 3rd. Because I hurt my knees and stuff, but I have hopefully Wednesday I find out when I go back to work because I'm going crazy sitting at home because
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm off for the whole summer. Can't do shit.
Yeah, like if this was you a couple months ago, like you wouldn't be able to come up here, like, or take this ride up here because you would have other things going on.
Yeah. So now I'm just home every day.
Yeah,
I'm on crutches, so it's not even like I'm like out like living,
Yeah,
I'm just like
loser.
okay,
You're a fucking loser.
Yeah, I'm a fucking loser right now.
That's coming on the Mikey Dealz Show. You have nothing better to do.
I got nothing better to do. Come see you and fuck with you all afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate it. I love it. I haven't seen you in, I don't even know, like since Florida, which is at least fucking 5 or 6 years ago. But before that,
I saw it. No, when you came up here,
when I came back to Jersey,
me and you went out to lunch and we went to PT. Remember?
We went to lunch.
Yeah, we did.
What?
Yeah, you were staying in Lyndhurst.
Right.
This is before you had to go back to Florida.
Yeah, before I got extradited back to Florida.
Yeah. Me and you, I picked you up for lunch. We went to PT. We had pizza mussels and freaking Bloody Marys.
What's PT?
Park Tavern.
I have no
in East Rutherford. Damn, bro.
I was fucked up back then.
I'm so glad I gave you a good afternoon. Asshole.
I was fucked up. I was fucked up back then. I was.
Yeah, this was before you got sent back.
Yeah, I was.
You were staying at your friends in Lyndhurst.
I was on a fucking crash course,
like on Ridge Road or something like that, by the VFW over there. I picked you up.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
We had a whole lunch date.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Well, I'm sure I showed you a good time, so it's all good.
Always a good time.
Right.
Always a good time.
So you got Jaden now. How old is Jaden?
He's gonna be 22 in October.
Is he going to college or anything? What's he doing?
He's doing school online. He works full time at Snipes, the sneaker store,
Mhm.
which he loves. He just made management team a couple months ago.
Is he able to give discounts and shit?
Yep.
Nice.
He just bought me some really nice Converse the other day. I was like,
Nice.
fuck
They
it.
sell everything in there, like Nikes, everything.
They got Nikes, they got Jordans, they got a lot of like clothes and like really cool, like fuck, you know. I go in there, I'm like, I need these pants and I need this.
Nice. That's in no, we're not gonna mention where
in
that is.
Teterboro.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, that's
Throw
where
it
he
out
works.
there. Go ahead. Go see Jaden.
Go see Jaden. Jaden's a good kid. I remember when he was a fucking little motherfucker. Like, what year was Hurricane Sandy? Was that 2012?
I think so.
I remember Hurricane Sandy. Me and Kelly had stocked up for like, I don't know, because I knew the storm was coming. Like, I knew that we were like, I knew like a week beforehand
Yeah.
that we were gonna get slammed by this fucking storm. Because back then I used to watch the weather constantly, and fucking I remember me and Kelly prepared. We had food, we had beer, we had booze, we had fucking gas in the cars. It was fucking we were like straight. And Hurricane Sandy hit, and we didn't have power for like 14 days.
Yeah.
And I remember we came to get you out of you were living in
Oh
Little
my God,
Ferry.
that's right.
We came to get you in Little Ferry, and I think we dropped you off at Fairlawn at like one of your
Yeah, at my friend's house because
Yeah.
he took us in.
because Little Ferry was like literally underwater. Like Little Ferry turns into a fucking.
It was insane. Like literally, like thank God we didn't get rain because we didn't get the rain.
You just got the
What
the
happened with
tide.
Little Ferry is, and it was so crazy. I was home, and it's me and Jaden, and we used to live upstairs, and it was just me and him. And I'm like, Jaden, stay the fuck off your phone. Like, you got to keep it charged because
Save
we
your
already
battery.
lost power.
Yeah.
And the last call I made was to my dad, which freaked him out. But everything had like because I literally felt like the roof was gonna come off my house.
Yeah.
That's how like windy it was. And it's just me and Jay, and I always have to be like protective mommy and make sure he's good and make sure he's not scared.
Yeah.
So finally everything stops, and I was like, all right, so like everything's done. Like it's really quiet right now. Let's take the dog out. So we took Dolce out. So because she's petrified of just like anything. So it finally calmed down, took her out. We walked up the stairs, and Jaden goes, Ma. And I'm like, what? If we had been outside an extra 30 seconds, that when the dam broke, we would have been outside for it. By the time I got from outside up my 26 stairs, there was 8 feet of water outside of my house.
Yeah.
Like we would have been like washed away.
Little Ferry is it's fucking prone to flooding. Like the flooding there is like it's one of the worst.
It was
places.
insane. But the dam broke.
Right.
But 30 seconds.
What fucking
We
dam is
would have
there
been
in Little Ferry?
outside. It's in Moonaki.
Oh, you're right.
And that's what broke. Thank God we didn't get the rain. So from the time we got from outside to upstairs, he was like, oh my God. And then I call my father, and all you hear is car alarms going off, like, bah, 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 bah. And I'm looking at the window, and I call my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I'm like, my car, like my trunk popped open, everything's going off. I'm like, car's floating like down the street. He's like, calm yourself down. You're gonna scare the baby. Right. So I'm like, okay. And then he didn't hear from me for 3 days because I couldn't get out of my house. We had nothing. Everything died. Like, obviously, like the batteries on the phones back then, they weren't like they are now.
I don't know how we got in touch. Maybe it was on the Facebook Messenger or some shit, but you're like, you need to get the fuck out of there. And Kelly had her Jeep, and we fucking drove down there, and
it was like 3 days later, we were
Yeah.
finally able to get out. Thank God downstairs they had a deck so Dolce can go to the bathroom.
Right.
And then like 3 days later, like the water was low enough, we were able to walk, and I went to Ben's Bagels. Everyone's in there,
Ben's
like
Bagel
charging.
Barn.
And that's how I
Phenomenal.
was finally like was able to call my dad. I'm like, hi, we're alive. Because the
Yeah.
last call he had was me hysterical crying that my car is floating down the street. And then you guys came and got me, took me to my friend Mike's house in Fairlawn because he took me, Jaden, and Dolce in. And I stayed there for like a week.
I remember like me and Kelly, like I said, we had stocked up, and I think I lasted like 10 or 11 days in Boonton. And I I think I lasted like 10 or 11 days in Boonton before like we ran out of shit.
Yeah.
So my boy Rick, me and him were working together at the time. We were hustling, and he lived in Allentown, and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "I don't have any fucking power either, bro." He's like, "We got to go somewhere and fucking make some money, like fucking."
We got to figure something out.
Yeah, he's like his wife and his kids, like like the family picked them up, and he's like, now it's just me. He's like, they're okay, but like, I'm like, fuck it, so let's go. Let's go to Baltimore. I checked Baltimore. Baltimore had power, had fucking everything. Wasn't bad down there, so we went down to Baltimore and fucking we scammed our asses off down there. We worked fucking Eastern Ave in fucking Baltimore. There's like a Home Depot there, like a big Greek neighborhood and shit. We made a bunch of fucking money. I think we were there for like 4 or 5 days. I got so drunk one night, I fucking locked myself out of my hotel room at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I slept walked and like locked myself out of my hotel room and fucking had to had to had to had to fucking walk downstairs to the security desk fucking in just my boxers and like I'm hammered drunk. And I remember the fucking security guy was like, "Man, you just fucked up on a Tuesday," and I'm like, "Bro, I'm fucking like I tried to explain about the hurricane and all. He
like we just left being like tied up in
he
complete
fucking
darkness for
he was
days.
just they were just looking at me all types of way, and fucking he came up, he walked me back upstairs the room, and again I'm like in my boxers, no shirt on, and he's like who's in this room? Like my fucking boy Rick. I'm like we got a double, you know what I mean? Well, not a double bed, but like two beds, you know.
Yeah.
And so he unlocks the door. And he's like, hey man, wake up, wake your ass up. So Rick, like shaking his leg, and fucking Ricky wakes up, and Rick is like a very he gets agitated very quickly, and he's
Wait,
very
is he the one with the dark hair that you brought to that little bar that I was working at in Wellington?
no. I don't think so, but anyway, so he wakes Rick up, and Rick wakes up, and he's like, "What the hell's going on, Mikey? How are you this fucking inebriated?" And I'm like, "Bro, just shut the fuck up." And I end up fucking going back to sleep.
What do you mean? How is that his question? Like, did he not know you well?
No, he knew me very well, but I think he had gone up to the hotel room, like because there was a hotel in the bar.
So he left you on your own
Yeah,
accord.
yeah.
So why would he question
remember
like how fucked up you were when you're left unadult
I
supervised?
remember he left me in the hotel bar at like 7:30, and I don't even know what time I ended up going back upstairs. But I made it in the room. I slept walked. I tried to go to the bathroom. So I sleepwalk and I'm trying to go to the bathroom, and I walk out of my room and walk the door behind me, and I still got to piss like a motherfucker. So I open up this door. I open up like it's like the stairway door, and I open that up, and it's a stairway, and I'm like, I'm gonna I pissed right in the fucking stairway, and then fucking walk downstairs to the lobby after I pissed.
my
And the security guard
God.
saw that when we were walking back upstairs. He's like, "Man, you pissed here." I'm like, "Fuck no."
See, I say it all the time. Like even just at my house, I'm like, in my defense, I was not properly adult supervised.
Right.
So
Blame
because
somebody
I
else, of
wander
course.
around sometimes.
Right.
Like if I'm smoking and shit, listen, don't fall asleep because
Yeah.
I wander and I go to the park and I swing on the swings and shit at like 3 a.m. I just wander around. So you have to keep an eye on me. But like, how is he gonna be like, how did this happen? He left you on adult supervised.
He was just dramatic, and it was my fault. It was my fault. I shouldn't have gotten that hammer. But I
Good
remember,
old days.
yeah, it was a disaster, and the bar was right in downtown Baltimore. Which, even though it's in downtown Baltimore, it's still fucking Baltimore, and it's a fucked up fucking neighborhood, especially like late at night. Like
Yeah.
in the bar that night, like I was the only white dude in that hotel or in the bar that night, and I don't know, I forget something was on TV, like it was a game of something, and fucking I ended up getting completely bombed in there, and I had a blast, but we ended up switching hotels the next day because I was so embarrassed.
Get
no,
out.
no, they didn't throw me out. No, it was okay, but I was just so embarrassed because like I think this happened at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then so I went down there in the morning with him, like fully dressed at like 9 o'clock to like check out and like go like back to hustling, go back to working, and fucking it was like the same people there, and they're like, "Damn, you were fucked up last night." And like, thanks, you know. It's like you just saw me. I was literally down here in my boxers. That's it, like drunk, walking around, a complete
At least
disaster.
you had boxers on.
Yeah, no doubt. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have.
Fuck.
I can't. But during Sandy, Vinny threw like a huge barbecue in the back of the bar. like a couple days after because like nobody had anything, and he was like he had all that food and shit.
Yeah.
So he like called all all of us.
He had food because he did catering. He did phenomenal catering. He had that big fucking long grill.
Yeah.
Like that
And
big
he made food
commercial
for
grade
all of
grill.
us. We all like had a little fucking, all the just the regulars.
Yeah.
We were all back there. He fed all of us. He put a huge barbecue on here. Take all the beers because there was no power there either.
Right.
And then we were one of the first people that got power on the grid in Teaneck. So everybody started coming. So we had a nice couple of busy days after that, like because everybody was coming in there charging and like this and that. But yeah, he like put on a huge barbecue for all of us to feed us because I was like, me and Jaden at home, thank God I had like a gas stove. And then when we finally got out, and I went to my friends, Jaden finally went to his dad's, and I was like, I'm going home because I always feel like I don't want to overstay my welcome. He was like, what are you talking about? Like, mind you, Dolce ate his door one day because I ran to the store, and I was like, I feel bad right now. So I went home and I stayed with I had electricity, but nothing else. And so I stayed there and I almost like killed myself because apparently there was a gas leak. The pilots went out and I slept there for 2 nights, like smelling of gas. And I would go to my girlfriend's house down the block because she had power to shower to go to work. And I stayed there with myself for like 10 days. It was scary as fuck.
That Vinny's crew and Vinny himself, those guys are always fucking solid, man. We took care of each other.
Yeah.
Many nights I'll be so fucked up I couldn't drive and I would sleep with like fucking Tui would invite me back to the house. Not Damien, what was it? Raul? Remember Raul? Yes, Puerto Rican Raul.
Oh shit.
One of the nicest guys in the world.
Fuck
I
yeah.
I haven't seen him in fucking years. He'd fucking just come
I
back
know.
to fucking crash because I had a truck and I was living in a Little Ferry at the time at the Little Ferry Circle.
Yeah.
And like I had so many incidents at that house of me coming home shit faced where it's like I ended up getting evicted from there. I got evicted from that fucking house. The last straw was me on the fucking roof when the fire department had to fucking get me off. Do you remember that?
No. What?
Cindy, I got all banged up at Vinny's and I closed the bar and Cindy fucking, who was bartending that night, drove me home. And fucking, I left my truck at Vinny's, but they took my keys and they put my keys behind the bar so I wouldn't drive away and leave.
Yeah.
And she drives me all the way to my fucking house in Little Ferry by the Little Ferry Circle. And my keys are behind the bar in Teaneck, and she had already locked up, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm like, I'm good. I'll climb up on the roof, and like my daughter's room is fucking.
Oh, you couldn't get in.
Yeah, I'm like my daughter. I'm like I have my daughter had her own bedroom over there, so I'm like my daughter's room is open, the window's open, so I'll fucking be fine. I'll just climb up there and get in there. She's like, okay, and so fucking I get out of the car and like I climb up off like the railing. It was a 2-family house. I climb up off the railing. I grabbed the gutter. Back then, I was able to do a fucking pull up, so I pulled myself up, and I throw my leg on the roof, and the gutter breaks.
Oh,
so now,
Jesus.
excuse me. So now the fucking the gutter is like hanging down, and like I'm up on like the fucking the angle of the fucking of the roof, like the above the entranceway, and I was so fucked up, I didn't know that like. The window was so far away from like the roof. So like I'm reaching over and it's about a 15-foot drop. I'm reaching over trying to open up the window and I can't. I fucking can't open the fucking window. It's locked. My daughter's mother had left and fucking locked it earlier that day. And I'm like, fuck. So now I'm reaching over and I'm trying to fucking hit it with my phone, trying to just break it so I could dive in it. And it's like, it's not breaking. And I'm like, motherfucker. And now it starts raining. And I was up there for a couple hours. Like I think Vinny's closed at 2 or 3. But I was up there. Now it's like 5 o'clock in the morning and it's raining. And I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, and I can't get down because the gutter's broken. And like, it was a fucking disaster. So I had to call 911 and fucking, I call 911.
There's
I'm like,
a cat stuck in the tree.
I'm like, yo, hey, I'm stuck on my roof. I'm locked out of my house and I got stuck on my roof. And I forgot what the dispatcher said, but like all of a sudden, like 3 minutes later, you see the fucking one cop pull up, another cop pull up. And that was Little Ferry police pulling up. And then you see Hackensack police pull up. And they got the spotlights up on me on the roof. And they're like, throw down your wallet. Throw it because they want to see my ID that I fucking lived there. That I wasn't just doing a B&E,
Yeah.
So like I'm fucking shit-faced. And I throw down my wallet and they see my license and they see my addresses on there that I lived there. And they try to go into like a couple of the neighbors' houses that like in their garages to see if there was a ladder. And there's no fucking ladder. And these fucking like they can't find a ladder, the cops.
So now the fire department
So
comes.
all of a sudden you hear the fucking like like the volunteer fireman fucking sound that goes off like when a fire's going on. So the fucking the siren's going off, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And back then, it was you had flip phones, So fucking, they pull up the fire truck, and the fire truck puts down like its legs, and fucking the big ass ladder, like mechanical like engine ladder.
Oh my god!
They pull it up there, and like I'm fucking like recording these guys as they're walking up the firemen, and they're volunteer. And they just got woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning for some drunk asshole on his roof. So they go up there, they put me on the ladder, and I'm fucking hammered. So like, don't climb, just sit here. And like I'm like sitting there like on like all.
But you still can't get in the house. So
no, but they lowered it. They lowered it down, and the cops are like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm like, I'm sure my landlord will be here in a couple hours after this shit." And fucking she came, like I'd fallen asleep on the steps, and fucking she came and like woke me up, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And like I told her, and she's like,
God.
"Yeah," she's like, I think it's time for you to go. I can't have this because like a week before or 2 weeks before it was Christmas. It was like a Christmas Eve or the day before, or like.
Oh, so you're in the freezing fucking cold on top of it.
Oh yeah. It was fucking brick.
Okay, great.
But
probably without a jacket.
The fucking one story that really fucking blew her fucking head apart was I'd come home fucking shit faced drunk. You pulled in the driveway at that house. There's 2 families, so there was cars parked in the back, and like you had to drive down the driveway and then park in the back. There was like 4 other cars back there. So I'm fucking bombed. I fucking pull in the driveway. I hit the house. I completely side scrape the shit out of my truck. I fucking park it. I go in. I have my keys. I fucking make the stairs. There's 18 stairs in that stairwell. I fucking go. I open up the lobby door. I go up to the top of the 18 stairs. I go to fucking grab the key to fucking open my door. I fucking fell down backwards.
Oh my god!
Down the stairs. I fell backwards down the stairs. I hit the fucking wall, and I went through the wall into the neighbor's apartment and knocked over his Christmas tree and his like end tables on his couch. And I'm
Jesus fucking Christ!
I'm like laying there like fucking in a ball. And he was Colombian.
Merry Christmas, Santa's here.
Yeah, like the tree was knocked over. It was like some Colombian dude and his beautiful wife Georgie comes running out. Oh my god, Mike, are you okay? Okay, I'm just fucking hammered, and I'm like, bro, yeah, like he pulls me up and he just puts me on his couch. And like I wake up a few hours later, I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like,
Jesus.
He's
Christ.
like, I don't know how you're not dead. Like, dude, my entire back was black and blue. It looked like I got hit with a baseball bat. I fucking went down backwards over these 18 fucking steps through the fucking wall into his living room. A complete disaster. And
did they have kids?
No, his wife.
I was
gonna
say, are the kids gonna be like, "Is this how Santa gets into the house?"
No, his wife was pregnant, and it was literally like 2 days before Christmas. Like the next day was Christmas Eve. God. So now he's got a huge hole in his fucking in his wall from where I fucking fell through. So I'm like, look, bro. I'm like, I don't know how to fucking. I'm not a handyman. Like, I don't know how to fix anything. I'm like, just whatever we need to buy, I'll buy, and we'll fucking do. So he's like, okay, man. Like, so we go to Home Depot. I spent like fucking $300 on shit, like fucking plasters and fucking little
drywall and
like
shit.
Like those scraping knives, like those putty knife things. Like it was expensive. It was like $300. He's like, "You're gonna help me do this?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we go back to the house. I don't know how to help him. Like I'm literally just standing next to him, watching him work for like 4 hours, like handing him like a thing of putty, like and like a nail and shit. Like I'm the unhandiest person in the world. So that happened, and then the fire truck incident, then the fire department incident happened, and then the landlord was like, "We gotta go."
I can't.
It was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, let's just sit on top of a fucking roof. Why would you go on the fucking roof to begin with? Is what I don't understand.
Because I thought my daughter's window was open. I thought her bedroom window was open. I thought that the fucking window was open, and it wasn't. And I was at such an angle with such a drop, I couldn't even break it. If I would have broke it, I was so drunk, I probably would have dived in there and like
and then sliced yourself open, and then it would be like Santa's sleigh.
Yeah, right. So fucking that's what happened with that apartment.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I want to wrap this up. It's been almost an hour of me and you talking now, and it's great to see you. I love you.
I love you.
I had another good friend in here last week, and I've known him for almost 20 years, and I'm just blessed to be able to still have people that I talked to from years ago, and you realize as you get older that fucking friends die off, friends move. You don't talk to people like that anymore, but you're one that I've always stayed in touch with. And, and I love you for that.
And I love you. And I'm one of those. I may not, I go hiding, but when you call,
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm there.
When I called you, you answered and you were down to come
Always,
through.
always.
And I'm really glad that you came through for this. I'm grateful for you.
I love
and,
it.
Thank you for being such a good friend over the last fucking 20 years. I know, like there's so many stories that I fucking forgot. The shit that happened in videos.
We'll do another
that
one.
that we've had. Yeah, like
we'll do another one. You can't make this fucking shit up.
Yeah, right. We'll definitely do another one because I know we haven't even scratched the surface. And
yeah, and I appreciate like how much love you gave my mom, you and Sean, and like taking care of her out there. And she definitely like appreciated it. And I was like, Mom, I'm letting you know, like he's a shit show, but he's fucking amazing. And then she yelled at you like, you're fucking late. And you were like, damn, Laura, like I didn't know I was on your schedule. But no, I appreciate like how much love you gave my mom.
Well, she
and I know she loved you.
She did, and I loved her, and she became a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
yeah, like she became somebody that was in my life that I would see every day. When she passed, it was very hard to me. It was very hard on Sean too.
Yeah,
me and Sean went in there to see her that day. And I remember we were walking out, and you and her sister were walking in, and I was in tears. Sean was fucking upset too.
Yeah,
he fucking loved her. Like him and her got along like they were thick as thieves. Like
she was like me, that you loved her or hated her. Like that's why I say to know me is to love me. You either love me or you fucking hate me.
No doubt.
So and she's just like me. But no, I appreciate it, and I fucking
you.
loved all of this. And we're gonna do another one.
We will.
Fuck yeah.
I hope we do. Let's do another one in another couple months. I'm gonna have some other guests on here, and it's great seeing you. And thank you again for coming by and taking the trip. I know you're it's like a 45-minute ride here, then another 45-minute ride back.
It's all good.
So I'm fucking grateful for you for doing that. But on a fucking positive note, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This is the Mikey Dealz Show, episode 3. Much love to all you cocksuckers. Oh, Lexi, give me a hug. Okay, this is Lexi. Yeah, be good, everybody. God bless.